For units to be useful, they need to be able to move between sectors. The movement of units is called advance movement. Every unit classification has a unique advance movement value, and there are 3 levels of advance movement available to each unit. Check the game screen for a quick reference of unit movement values by classification. A standard advance is always free for a unit to make. This is a unit's basic normal advance movement value and requires no supply. Units are left to their own tools and abilities to move across the battlefield. A rapid advance is a unit's second advance movement level. Choosing a rapid advance requires the unit to pay 1 supply. The unit is supplied with horse carts, fuel, duckboards, wire cutters, carrier pigeons, or other basic tools useful for increasing their advance movement value. An all-out advance is a unit's third and highest advance movement value. Choosing an all-out advance requires the unit to pay 2 supply. An all-out advance provides the unit with mechanized trucks, electronic communications equipment, or small breaching explosives essential for rapid communication and fast movement through difficult terrain. Prior to making any advance move action, you must declare the type of advance movement you plan to make. Immediately pay any supply costs for that type of advance move before starting the move. Once supply costs are paid, the player making the advance move must indicate the planned movement route to the enemy player, as well as the final sector destination of the advance movement. If a tactic card or attack action disrupts or increases the advance movement cost of the planned move, the controlling player may not subsequently choose to pay more supply to further increase the advance movement values. These resources must be secured prior to moving. If the advance movement is interrupted by the unit taking any strength damage, the unit stops moving in the sector the strength damage was received. If the unit takes shock damage that does not lead to actual strength damage being suffered by the unit continues the planned move once the attack is resolved. This applies to any type of advanced movement, from movement allowed by tactics cards to advanced movement to move a unit into melee combat. If during the advance movement, the cost of various sectors changes, such as due to the addition of any craters along the planned route, the controlling player may choose to stop moving at any sector they have remaining advance movement for along their planned route. Once a unit enters a sector along the planned route, it may not go back to a preceding sector. While it may be tempting to undo a move after realizing your unit has walked into a trap, all advance movement actions are final. Infantry units other than machine guns have a standard advance value of 3, a rapid advance movement value of 5, and an all-out advance value of 8. Cavalry units always move with the all-out advance value and never pay supply to move at that value. Infantry units are the fastest and easiest to move units across the spoiled battlefields of World War I. Artillery units and machine gun units have a standard movement value of 1, a rapid advance movement value of 3, and an all-out advance value of 5. Artillery units and machine guns are much slower to move and set up than regular infantry units. Artillery units usually require some investment in supply to position effectively on the game board. Pushing or pulling artillery units through fields of mud under enemy fire is no task for the faint of heart. Experimental units have a standard movement value of 1, a rapid advance movement value of 4, and an all-out advance value of 6. Experimental units almost always require an investment in supply to move up the battlefield. Experimental units usually require fuel or other transportation and communications equipment to effectively move. Experimental units benefit from some of the most advanced technology available, but this does require some time and support to move and allocate effectively. Fog of war units have a standard movement value of 1, a rapid advance movement value of 2, and an all-out advance value of 4. Staying concealed means marching under the cover of darkness or investing in credible camouflage to confuse the enemy. Fog of war units do not move fast across the battlefield. However, an investment of supply can allow you to move your hidden units much more effectively. When making an advance move of any type, units move one sector at a time. Units may not end a move in any sector occupied by another friendly unit or enemy unit, other than friendly or enemy tunneling units. Likewise, units may not move through sectors occupied by other units and must always make advance moves through vacant sectors. Units may also not enter sectors with barbed wire or wire fields, except tanks and armor units. These sectors are considered impassable. Units may not enter any sector in which they lack the minimum amount of remaining advance movement to enter the sector. If a unit doesn't have enough advance movement to enter a sector, that sector is considered impassable to it for that move action. If every sector around a unit is impassable, it can't make advance moves at all. Units pay advance movement cost when moving out of their sector from any crater damage or gas tokens present in their originating sector. Units then pay 1 advance movement to enter an adjacent sector, plus any increased cost from crater damage or gas tokens present in the adjacent sector. The base move to move between 2 open ground sectors is 1 advance movement. Consider 2 infantry units on the board. One unit is in an open ground sector and chooses to move into a sector 3 sectors away. The unit declares a standard advance, identifies the sectors the unit will pass through, and then identifies the end sector. The advance move will cost 3 advance movement, 1 for moving into an adjacent open ground sector, 1 for moving into an open ground sector adjacent to that sector, plus 1 more for the following sector. If a gas token is added to the middle sector when the unit enters that sector, the unit would have to stop the advance move. It would now cost 2 advance movement to move to the destination sector, and the unit only has 1 advance movement remaining as it declared a standard advance. Even if the unit carried 1 supply with it when it made its initial standard advance into the middle sector, this supply cannot be used to increase the unit's advanced movement as part of this move action. The 2nd infantry unit is present in a sector with 1 crater and chooses to move 2 sectors away, having to pass through a sector with 2 craters. The move will cost 1 advance movement to move out of a sector with a single crater, 3 advance movement to move into an adjacent sector with 2 crater damage, plus 3 more advance movement to move into the final open ground sector and out of a sector with 2 craters. This means the total move will cost the unit 7 advance movement to complete. The infantry unit declares it is making an all-out advance and pays 2 supply, increasing its advance movement value from 3 to 8. The moving unit declares its final route and destination sector to the enemy player and begins moving along the indicated sectors. Upon reaching the middle sector along the route, the enemy player reveals a sniper team located near the moving unit. The enemy player declares an out-of-sequence attack action against the moving unit. The moving unit takes 2 shock damage from the sniper team, but no strength damage due to the unit's entrenchment value. As it suffered no strength damage, the moving unit finishes the declared move in the destination sector. If the unit had suffered at least 1 strength damage, the moving unit would stop moving in the sector where it took the strength damage, regardless of the advance movement remaining. As 2 advance movement actions, 2 friendly units starting in adjacent sectors can declare they are swapping sectors. If they do so, both units must have the required advance movement to move into the opposing unit's sector. Provided they do, the 2 units then swap sectors. Once they swap, both units are done moving and have used up their available move action, even if they would have advanced movement left over. Both units must be eligible to make an advance movement action for a swap to be declared. If both swapping units are in a fog of war state, you could of course declare a swap and shuffle the units, paying supply if necessary, but decline to actually move the units. Pick both units up from the game board and then place them back down. This can mix up your unit's placement to confuse the enemy player. Both units would still lose their advance move for the phase, but this is a useful way to hide unit positioning. When making melee attacks, units must have the necessary advance movement to move into the sector that is the target of their melee attack. To make a melee attack, units declare an advance move into the enemy sector. If the unit initiating the melee attack is declaring an attack across multiple sectors, it must have enough advance movement available to pay the total cost of making all the moves together, not each sector individually. If a single sector in the multiple attacked sectors increases the advance movement cost for the attack over what the attacking unit has available, the whole attack fails and stops. This is particularly relevant for tactics cards that activate prior to the melee attack being completed. For example, if an infantry unit declares a melee attack into a sector occupied by an enemy infantry unit that contains 2 craters, this would normally cost the unit 3 advance movement to attack. The attacking unit declares a standard advance when making that melee attack. The enemy player plays a tactics card that allows an artillery unit to make an out-of-sequence attack against the attacking unit. Though the unit that declared the melee attack takes no strength damage, a single crater is added to the sector it is making the attack from. This means the melee attack will now cost an advance movement of 4 to make. As the unit chose a standard advance when declaring the melee attack and only had 3 advance movement available, the attacking unit is unable to make that attack as it lacks the advanced movement. The attacking unit loses its attack action for the phase. Remember, if a unit receives strength damage, the advance movement of the unit stops, which includes advance movement for initiating melee attacks. If the defending unit resolved its melee attacks before the attacking unit was able to strike back, or the initial artillery attack caused any strength damage to the attacking unit, the melee attack is halted as the advance movement fails. Infantry do not normally want to charge headlong into a wall of flames or massive cavalry. Once melee combat initiates, meaning the unit that declared the melee attack rolls shock dice, any strength damage suffered will no longer halt a melee attack. Subsequent rounds of melee attacks may be declared even if the attacking unit suffered strength damage. For example, in the shock phase, a player declares a melee attack with a regular infantry unit against a flamethrower experimental unit. The flamethrower unit is allowed to resolve melee attacks before the other unit attacks back. The flamethrower unit pays 2 supply to attack as required for that unit, and deals 1 strength damage to the infantry unit. The infantry unit that declared the melee attack is not destroyed, but its advance movement now fails and the melee attack ends. Now the flamethrower unit is selected to make a melee attack against the infantry unit. The flamethrower unit pays another 2 supply for the melee attack, and again attacks before the infantry unit can attack back, again dealing a single strength damage but failing to destroy the infantry unit. As the flamethrower unit declared the melee attack, the round of melee combat continues and the infantry unit attacks back. The infantry unit deals a single strength damage to the flamethrower unit. As the flamethrower unit already entered melee combat and rolled shock dice, its advance movement was successful despite the strength damage. Should the flamethrower unit choose to, it may elect to continue multiple rounds of melee combat. If the flamethrower unit ultimately destroys the attacked infantry unit, it may choose to either occupy the attacked sector or remain in its original sector. When a round of melee attacks is completed where one of the units is destroyed, the winning unit may always choose to either remain in the original sector or move into the sector it attacked. This movement is regardless of any advance movement cost increases that applied to the attacked sector. For example, an explosives team declares a melee attack from an open ground sector against another open ground sector that contains an enemy unit, declaring a standard advance. The explosives team ultimately wins that melee attack and destroys the enemy unit. However, when making melee attacks, the explosives team added 3 craters to the attacked sector. Despite the normal cost for making an advance move into the attacked sector now rising to 4 instead of 1, the explosives team may either choose to stay in the original sector or move into the attacked sector, regardless of any advance movement costs or requirements. As the explosives team has 2 unit strength available and may carry double the normal supply when making advance moves, the explosives team may move up to 4 supply with it to the attacked sector should it occupy it. When making advance moves, units may always choose to bring supply with them when they move. Units may carry supply from any sector they start in or pass through along their movement path, up to the unit's existing strength value. Units may leave supply behind in sectors they pass through for units following behind to pick up or secure. This concludes the section regarding unit advance movement. Units will advance across the board to secure your objectives and threaten other enemy units. Strategically planning these moves will be critical for your victory.